Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's that time of year again where I'm doing our back to school supply haul. So all of this is for two of my kids. My oldest son is going to be a junior in high school this year, and he starts school on Monday, and he will get just like supply list, I guess you could say, from each teacher when he goes into school. So this is not including anything that we need for him. So from this copy paper and like these folders to the left is for my daughter, and then from this binder to the right is for my middle son. So my daughter Annie is going into 5th grade, and then my son Cohen is going into 8th grade. Annie actually needed a lot more than Cohen did this year. All of this was $180. I think it actually came into like just below $180. So I will show you guys their backpacks also after I show the supplies. And then if I do a school clothing haul, let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. I will do that in a separate video. We're actually getting ready to leave here in like 45 minutes, if that, to go to Cohen's Meet the Teacher like open house. So we have to take in certain supplies to his homeroom teacher. So I needed to film this like now, or it wasn't going to happen. If you hear any chaos, just ignore it. My kids are upstairs playing, and then Annie has a friend over, so it might get a little chaotic. But we're gonna start over here. Annie needed 4 rolls of paper towels, along with 4 boxes of Kleenex, and then she also needed 4 containers of Clorox wipes. I just went ahead and did the Great Value disinfecting wipes. She needed 1 1-inch binder and then folders. Now, they didn't really have any specific colors or anything. The only thing that they needed to have for the folders was they had to be plastic folders, and they also had to have pockets and prongs. So this one is kind of like a plastic coated paper folder. I let her do this one because how fun is this? Stitch is her favorite, and it has the prongs and the pockets. And then she chose just different colored ones, just yellow, blue, and red. So she got the 5-star ones. Now, I do tend to obviously reuse what we can. She didn't have any folders from last year that she could reuse. My older son, the one who's going to be a junior, he has folders that he can reuse. That's the nice thing about the 5-star, is she'll be able to reuse those like next year if she needs to, as long as she doesn't have to have something that's completely different on her list next year. We have standard sheet protectors, and then she also needed 3 reams of copy paper. So we have that there. Going this way, we have 1 5-subject notebook. So each subject is divided with like kind of like a little divider page that has pockets. So she needed 1 of those, and then she also needed just some lined paper, pencil pouch. We actually got this on Amazon. When I looked at Walmart, a lot of them were super cheap and didn't look like they would hold up well. And then we went to Target, and those were like $12. And I was like, that's insane for a pencil pouch. So this was like under $7 on Amazon. Blue is her favorite color, and it has just some little compartments and dividers. So she thought that was pretty cool. So we ordered that. And then she just needed 1 subject notebook. They didn't specify if it had to be spiral composition, and she saw this. It was the last one at Walmart, and she was obsessed. So there's 2 things she loves. She loves ramen, and she loves bows, and this has bows and ramen on it. So perfect. And then she needed erasers. Her teacher wanted pink erasers. I really like the white ones. I feel like those are like the best erasers out there, but we went off of the supply list, obviously. And then she wanted 1 pack, or not wanted, she needed 1 pack of Post-it notes. So she chose blue because, like I said, that's her favorite color. Scissors. This is usually an item, like I said, that we reuse, but now that she's getting older, they require like the pointed and like the larger size scissors. So we just grabbed those. A pencil sharpener was not on her supply list, but this was at Five Below. You can take this off, and there's an eraser right there on the top, and if you take the eraser out, that's where you access the pencil sharpener, and then you can open the bottom here to empty out the shavings. Down here we have wired earbuds. They are required to be wired. I want to say I got the same ones last year for both of the kids, and they made it through the entire year, but these are like under $5 at Target. So check those out if your kids need wired earbuds. She needed Sharpies, so we grabbed those. And then I'm not even going to attempt Ticonderoga pencils are what were on her list, and they had to be sharpened. Her teacher did ask for 2 boxes, but I just bought the larger 48 count instead of 2 of the smaller boxes. They just said colored pens, so we just grabbed this variety pack. Colored pencils. Mechanical pencils were not on her supply list, but she wanted some, and these were like super cheap at Walmart, so I grabbed those. And then she needed 8 glue sticks, so we have that there. And then Expo markers, the thin or like the fine ones, so that is for her. So that is everything Annie needed for 5th grade, and we're gonna move over here to Cohen for 8th grade. So he has like, is is it 6 or 7 different teachers? I can never remember. I think he has 7 periods and Jackson has 6, but he needed the 1-inch binder as well. His teacher, his homeroom teacher, only requested 1 or 2 rolls of paper towel. So I got this like 2-pack, requested 2 boxes of Kleenex and then 2 of the Clorox wipes. We have all of that there. They need 1 Sharpie. So this just came out of the brand new package from last year. He already used the other one last year, so I just took this one out. And then he did have crayons on his supply list, which I thought was so crazy that the 8th grader needs crayons, but the 5th grader doesn't. So wild. So crayons for him, along with a pencil sharpener that was on his list, and then Expo markers and 1 Elmer's glue. So we have that. Also needed colored pencils. And then as far as highlighters go, they just said 2 highlighters. So I'm gonna send 2 of these with him now, keep the other 2. That way if they dry out or he needs replacements throughout the year, I can send him with more. 2 boxes of pencils. And then also got the ear headphones. These are the wired earbuds. Like I said, love these. Really quickly for Cohen, I just went ahead and did the ones that are unsharpened because it didn't specify and they were cheaper. And I'm like, this stuff is expensive. And I have an electric pencil sharpener. So if they need me to, I will totally sharpen these for them. He needed 4 glue sticks, a pencil pouch that can go inside of your binder. We actually already had this. His pencil box broke last year and we just picked up a couple extra ones because this kid goes through like several pencil boxes a year. And so Chris last year went and bought 2 pencil pouches and the other one lasted him through the rest of the year. So we just saved this one and it worked out perfectly because his teacher wants them to have one that can go inside their binder. So that's what he's gonna use. And he needed 2 composition notebooks. That was it. They didn't ask for any folders or anything. So for composition notebooks, I just did 1 regular one. And then I thought this was a fun like video game one. So we did that. And then they only required or requested 1 ream of copy paper for Cohen and then these colored dividers with pockets for his binder. So we have all of that. So that is everything Cohen needed for school supplies. Let me grab their backpacks really quick and show you guys. Like I said, I like to reuse products that we can, like backpacks, things like that. Everybody needed new backpacks this year. Just happened that way, but we were able to reuse our lunch boxes and things like that. So we don't always get brand new backpacks every year. Just wanted to give that little disclaimer before I move on. So there are the supplies. Let me grab the backpacks really quick and I will be right back. Okay, as far as backpacks go, Annie picked a JanSport. This one is so cute. We got it at Target. Like I said, she loves bows. So this one is the XL size and it has like 3 different compartments. There is like a laptop sleeve. You can put water bottles on the side. I just thought this one was so cute. She loved the bow detail. I like that it's a darker color, so it won't get filthy. So this is what she was so excited about when she found it. She did get these 2 little backpack charms from Five Below. One of them is a bow, and then this one looks like a mini like bog bag that she wanted to put on there in case she wanted to do like hand sanitizer or like chapstick in here. So that is her backpack. If you guys have watched any of our school lunch videos, they are both gonna just reuse their Titan lunch boxes from last year. I actually need to like take those out and like give them a good cleaning, but the lunch boxes I get at Costco that are that Titan brand last forever. Like I love them, love them. This is Cohen's. We're just going with a regular old black JanSport. That's what he requested. This is also the XL size. So these ones have, like I said, the laptop, if I can get that to focus, the laptop sleeve and the water bottle holders. It has 3 compartments. He had a black JanSport the last couple of years. It was the smaller size and he probably could have got away with it again this year, but I love that kid to death. Love, love, love him. He had spilled a couple bottles of Elmer's glue in the bottom of his backpack and I could not get it clean. And when I looked it up on how to clean it, it was just like spot clean because of the leather bottom. You couldn't like throw it in the washing machine. And I was like, this thing is pretty trash. There's like glue spill everywhere in it. He also needed a little bit extra room. I think his old JanSport just had 2 of the pocket, like 2 compartments, not 3. So this will be good, especially since he's in 8th grade now and he's got a lot more stuff that he has to carry. I think that this will be much needed and can last him for several years as long as we stay out of the glue. He's my ADHD one. And so like he fidgets and gets distracted and anything becomes a toy or a fidget. And that's what happened with the glue last year. So there is that. Like I said, if you guys are interested in a school clothing haul, let me know. I can do that in a separate video and just show you guys really quickly their school clothes and things like that. I could show you, let me see if I can grab this one-handed. I'm gonna keep you guys spinning on my kitchen table. My oldest son that is going to be a junior picked out his backpack. He did need a new backpack really bad. He used a JanSport for the last couple of years and it was actually ripping. So we had to get him a new one. Sorry for the terrible camera angles, but I didn't feel like turning it off again. He went with North Face. He had had a North Face for several years prior. It held up really well. And so he chose the North Face Recon. We got this at Scheels. Has 2 water bottle holders, which he's not going to use that anyways. He takes a literal 101 ounce jug to school. So that's not going to fit in there. But this also has like the 3 compartments. I figured this will be great to hold up for his junior and senior year. I know a lot of the seniors do like the character kid backpacks for senior year. So I figured if he wants to do that, we can buy like a funny little character backpack he can use next year. And then in case he goes to college, this will be great for that or just whatever else. But North Face holds up so well. In my opinion, from my kids' experience, I feel like it's even held up better than JanSport, but we'll see. So that's what they did for school supplies and backpacks this year. Like I said, all 3 are reusing their lunch boxes. They are also reusing their water bottles. There's nothing wrong with them. So we're not going to just buy new water bottles for the heck of it. We'll buy them throughout the year if we need them. So I will do a separate video of school clothing and shoes if that's something you guys are interested in. But I hope you're all having a fantastic summer and I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. Bye guys.